I don't know what the misconceptions can be. I think people think that Iran is just overflowing with oil and gas. And that may be true in theory, but it's not true in practice. So they've had a stifling of their oil production. They've had a disaster in their gas production, despite the fact that they're sitting on probably the second largest set of reserves in the world. And actually what might do them in has been the Israeli bombing of their natural gas facilities.
Paul asked the smartest question of the day: can there be a regime change? I mean, let's go back to 1979. Paul's too young to remember this, but you and I, the absolute shock of moving from the Shah over to a theocracy, to be polite about it. Can we have a regime change, as Paul asks?
Well, certainly the Israelis are aiming for a regime change. Whether they get it now or whether it happens at another time remains to be seen. The underlying position of the government is very, very weak. They do not enjoy the legitimacy of the public. They do not enjoy happiness in the public. They have unbelievably high inflation, reaching 40% or higher. They have a currency that remains in a world of depreciating currencies. They have no access to health and other things that people who are middle class want, and there are a lot of them. So we have a government that's a combination, a very strong combination of elected officials, a theocracy headed by somebody who certainly is going to be not with us very long, given his health situation and his age, and it has the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is not exactly the most popular group in the world in terms of governments or governance. So yes, I'd say that there's weakness in the governance structure, but saying it's going to be overthrown overnight is another matter.
What is the role of OPEC, OPEC Plus in times of these types of risks, geopolitical risks in the Middle East? What are they doing?
Well, OPEC Plus is a bunch of countries, and their main objective has been to put a floor under prices. They are in a complicated position at the moment. That complication results from, on the geopolitical side, all of the major countries having new relationships with Iran. That includes Russia, that includes Saudi Arabia and the UAE, where China has pushed them to normalize relationships. They are articulating a position of criticism, I would not call it much more than that, of Israel for its what they call aggressive acts, but they want to stay out of it, and they have a more complicated situation at hand. So we have to remember that before this started, before that spike we saw last Friday in oil prices, they are, on the one hand, concerned about weakness in the oil market, and on the other hand, pushing for weakness in the oil market. And they continue to want to push for weakness for a variety of complicated reasons.